So, what could President Trump's latest round of tariffs mean when people head to the grocery store? Well, fresh produce that falls under the U.S. Mexico Canada agreement would not be subject to the new tariffs. As Christina Herrick of The Packer tells us, there will still be a price impact.
Earlier this week, President Donald Trump announced the U.S. will impose a 10% tariff on more than 15 countries. Also in that announcement, President Trump indicated that goods that fall under the U.S. Canada-Mexico Free Trade Agreement would continue to see 0% tariffs. This includes imported fresh fruits and vegetables to the U.S. Dante Gagliazzi, president and CEO of the Texas International Produce Association, said the fresh produce industries in Mexico and Canada dodged a bullet with this announcement. But the fresh produce industry didn't come out entirely unscathed from the impact of these tariffs.
They are the principal sourcing point for a lot of our imported fruits and vegetables. However, our fresh produce industry was not entirely spared. And I say that because consumers need to be aware that, especially at this time of year, before the United States has started their spring/summer season, we are still depending on imports for a lot of fresh produce items that are going to be impacted by these tariffs.
Gagliazzi said this includes fresh produce from Central American countries, such as avocados from Colombia, grapes from Chile, and asparagus from Peru.
As a result, all of these locations in Latin America are receiving at minimum a 10% tariff. So if you were paying $1 for your mango, it's going to be $1.10 now.
He said consumers may not see price increases initially, but closer to May, because retailers purchased the fresh produce currently in store at a previous price.
It's probably going to be a month or so before you start to see price increases because of the way that fresh produce moves through the system, right? You've already got stuff on the shelf that was bought at a previous price, and the stuff that's going to be behind that immediately for the next 2 weeks is going to be all these items that were priced ahead of the tariffs. At some point, 3 to 4 weeks from now, the new produce will start coming in that has been subject to the tariffs. And so that's the point where you could start seeing price increases.
Gagliazzi said overall, President Trump's announcement is fairly good news for the fresh produce industry, especially for the growers in Canada and Mexico.
As an industry, we were very fortunate that none of our major sourcing points received the very high tariff rates that we saw go against some of the other countries like China and India. The good news is Americans will continue to have the availability they enjoy today. They might just pay another dime or more to get that fresh produce.
Reporting for Ag Day, I'm Christina Herrick with The Packer.